Hello everybody, this is GeneralJannis, and today in Chaos Tactics I'm looking at the new 40k datasheets, how they're built up, and especially now where we have the rules for the loyalist terminators, trying to analyze all the changes that seem to be incoming for the new 40k edition. So with no further ado, let's get started. Hello everybody, this is GeneralJannis, and today in Chaos Tactics I'm looking at the new rules for adding leaders to squad in the 10th edition and speculating a bit what it means for Death Guard and Thousand Suns. So with no further ado, let's take a look. So today, the 12th of April, a bit wondering if a balanced data slate is inbound for Arcs of Omen. Let's see, Warhammer Community Games Workshop, they said they would do some tuning, but they spend a lot of time giving us new rules for the new edition. So I don't know how motivated they are to change stuff for the Arcs of Omen. But let's see. But as I said in this video, let's look at the new rules that leaders can join squads, what has been revealed from the community, and then my thoughts on Death Guard and Thousand Suns. Some speculations here, and what my thoughts are about the leaders. Starting at the leaders for the 10th edition, now as a Warhammer Community preview, the leaders can now join squads again as they could in previous edition, and they gave an example of the Primaris Lieutenant. So Primaris, it was a lot of speculation if Primaris will not be used so much, but they give us the information for Primaris Lieutenant. So he could be joining Intercessors, Hellblasters, and Blade Guard squads. He no longer has an aura to reroll ones to wound. The squad he joins gets the ability Lethal Hits. So on 6s to hit, this is the new generic term for 6s to hit auto wound. So again, as they previewed, not so many rerolls, maybe only the bigger Primarchs or characters like this. So being added to some of the squads and giving them some ability in the squad. They also mentioned that the lieutenant could also be part of a squad that already has a captain in it. But they said also that some leaders cannot join squads. They will be, some of them will have the lone operatives keywords, and they cannot be targeted outside of 12 inches. But not all the characters would be getting the lone operatives. They mentioned the Primarch Lionel Johnson. He could be getting the lone operative only if he's near Space Marine infantry. So we would expect the normal HQ and supportive characters to be added to squads where they fit in somehow thematically and with their armor, etc. But we would still see maybe some of the biggest characters keeping their auras and being outside of squads. Now, speculating a bit based on the Space Marine revelations here, what could be some of my own thoughts about the speculation about what about Death Guard leaders, and of course I'm thinking that's something that already is very similar to Terminators, like the Lord of Contagion, Lord of Violence, Typhus, probably would be able to join Blightlord and Deathshroud Terminator squads. Could Typhus thematically be joining a big blob of poxwalkers? That would be fun and thematic somehow, especially if he could take a very big squad of poxwalkers. The Plaguecaster, Chaos Lord, and probably all Arvirian. They probably wouldn't be able to join the Terminator squads, but they could join the Plague Marines, and it would be nice to have Plague Marines with let's say some of these characters buffing them. Maybe the Noxious Blightbringer makes them faster. Foul Blightspawn makes them fight first, or something like this. The Plaguecaster might add casting spells, etc. So that would fit quite well thematically. The Demon Prince, if I'm thinking about it, he's too big character to be surrounded by petty infantry. So I guess he could be a lone operative, maybe retaining some aura to give rerolls, hopefully, or something like this. But I wouldn't see him joining, let's say, a squad of Plague Marines or Terminators that are slow, and the Demon Prince with the wings, at least he's much faster. And then finally, I think for the big Primarchs, the Demon Primarchs like Mortarion, I don't think he will be getting the lone operative protection. unless they change his stats so he's not as lethal. I think if you could protect him with a lot of bodyguard rules, and you could just push Mortarion up to the enemy territory without the enemy being able to shoot at him or something like this, would be a bit too strong. But it could be nice if he could get some bodyguard rule. Maybe if he has some death shroud, I'm thinking for it to not be super strong. Maybe if you roll a 4+, then the death shroud could be take the shot instead of Mortarion or something like this. But all in all, some interesting mechanics for Death Guard, and I guess could be interesting to buff the Blight Lord squads and Plague Bearing squads with some nice leaders. For Thousand Suns, though, I'm thinking maybe this this new leader mechanic, it feels a bit odd to me, at least, because as I feel when I play the Rubric squads and the Scarab squads, they already are led by by an aspiring sorcerer. So he's like a mini leader, and he feels quite different from the rest of the squad. So when I play, if all the Terminators die and I still have my sorcerer there, they can still cast powers and etc. So probably they will make it so that the Exalted Sorcerer, Ahriman, and the Infernal Master could join maybe either of the squads. There are not so many supportive characters for Thousand Suns, not so many troops and elite choices as well. But then I don't know how they will do the psychic abilities. There is big question marks. As I said, the psychic phase will go away. So will they be able to still select spells? Will adding some extra sorcerers to a squad that's already a psychic sorcerer? Would you be able to cast more spells or stronger spells and Cabal rituals? So a lot of big question marks here. Probably as they do the if you add maybe an Exalted Sorcerer to a squad, then you could also add a Sorcerer, and then you have the Aspiring Sorcerer. You would have maybe 3 Sorcerers in a squad of Scarabs. But let's see. I think it's not as clear as for Death Guard, in my opinion, at least. And probably the Changor Shaman, maybe he could go with the Changor Enlightened or a normal Changor. For the Demon Prince, I'm thinking that again, like for Death Guard, he probably has to be a lone operative, and maybe Magnus. What can be done for Magnus to make him great again? But I don't think he will be able to join any squads. Reaching to the summary and final thoughts of this short video, I think it's going to be some interesting mechanics to be able to add leaders to the squad. There will be less general buffing auras, so this will be translated to some buffs, adding some buffs to the current squad to the squad that the leader is joining. This adding the characters into the squad will leave them more protected, no longer leaving characters out in the open after failed charges or something like this, or just being out of 6 inches of the reroll auras or something like this. It happens quite a lot, at least when I play. Sometimes the squads in front of the character make the charge, and then you miss the charge with your character, and he's left in the open, and he's not as well protected. So now he will more organically follow the squad, and you can do more in melee. Probably there will still be quite a lot of standalone characters in the game, like the Demon Prince is the bigger monster type characters. They probably don't have some nice units to join. And for Thousand Suns, as I mentioned, I think it's a bit more tricky how the whole psychic thing will work. And adding sorcerers in something that already is basically a squad led by a mini sorcerer, you will have a lot of leaders in the squad. So this concludes my thoughts from this from the new leaders for 10th edition. Let me know your thoughts. If you like this video, please press like and subscribe to my channel. You can visit my Patreon page, become a YouTube member, and you can also join the Discord channel to ask questions directly and discuss lists with me and other fellow Death Guard and Chaos players. So with these words, GeneralJannis signing out. Stay safe out there, and bye-bye.